like that.
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Texans and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our two quarterbacks in this one, I'd say it's a study in contrast. Young versus, well, let's say experienced. Davis Mills of the Texans, Russell Wilson of the Broncos.
And you are on point about that because you definitely don't say old now. That won't gain you any points, but you're right. You got one guy who's still kind of figuring things out. Still at that point where he's learning more with each game he plays. And then the other side of the field, you've got a guy who's kind of seen it all at this point. Maybe his body's slowed a little, but the knowledge of the game, still top-notch, and he can win with his mind.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now here's Russell Wilson, 11th season in the league. First, of course, with Denver after a high-profile trade this offseason that saw him dealt from Seattle.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Devon Kennard. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. After the sack on first down, Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. So 8 yards on the completion there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mills. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. Call it a pickup of 3 and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And it's fielded at the 34. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the gun, it's Wilson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 41.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. Oh, nice move. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
That good for 22 and a 1st down. Mills on 1st down. This is caught. It's Cox. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Pollard will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Well, we have the scoreless 1st quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the 2nd quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the 1st quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Week 2 underway around the NFL, and a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener, the 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat, a Monday night doubleheader, Tennessee and Buffalo, 7:15 Eastern, and then Minnesota and Philly kicking off a little over an hour later.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. But you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And I tell you from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. Never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The Broncos 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's brought down after a very nice game. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be...
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Jonathan Grenard. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. On the move to his left. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. 4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So, 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road. So
here are the Texans to take over. They were losers last week, dropping that game to the Indianapolis Colts. But the good news for them, they've got the lead right now and the football. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. A first down throw for Mills. Cooks on the quick slant. On the move past the 40. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route, and the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat, and then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the shotgun, it's Mills. The pass finds Mechie in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. John Mechie with his first career NFL touchdown. And they are able to add on to their advantage. I believe that buzz down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
That's complete. It's catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Mills. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Screenplay set up for Williams. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. A 40-yard punt, no return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Mills now from the 50. Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be 3rd down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Van Jefferson, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last. We head to AT&T.
Well, everyone's eager to resume play here this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. Room here to run. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Pierce now up the middle. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. And nickel set defensively for the Broncos. third down. Throwing, Mills. Going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's not time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now it's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1 and 1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
The previous play is under review.
And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough.
So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here we go with Williams. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. There's Wilson to throw. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. To throw is Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Oh, he shifts past him. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be second down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it third down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Greg Dulcich with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we have put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a proven drive. They proved it to themselves.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action. Exactly. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Mills. And this one is incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Here's Cameron Johnston now. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. From just shy of midfield, Wilson finding Sutton on the out route who makes the catch. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Throwing is Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8, so logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
2nd and 2, first down marker at the 8. They'll go jet sweep here with Sutton. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Second down and goal. Wilson. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 in the 4th. So quite one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
So now a big play here as the Broncos will line up to go for 2. Wilson going to throw for it. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted a tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Houston set to take over. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mills to throw it. Right side complete to Mechie. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mills. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nick Bonito in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning.
Holding. Offense.
Quinn Miners, 3rd-round pick in 2021, called for a penalty. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Wilson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. Throwing now is Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Judy, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos strike quickly to take the lead here in the fourth. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Important extra point up and through, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So here is Mills and the Texans. Down 24-17. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Mills. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, they really could have turned this one upside down. Mills, fourth down, gotta have it. On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end.
Preseason. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come from behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Denver, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.